I could never match her. I mean, her excitement, her level of commitment to the business, and she explains our business in such a simple way that we all can copy it. We all could do it. And I want to bring up my good friend, Yvette, to take it away.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, my white boy brother. You're the only white boy brother I have, so I'm loving you. But yes, you are actually right. I live in both places still, so they call me bi-coastal. So yeah, I'm both in California and in Chicago, but currently I'm in Chicago right now because I love my teammates here, and so I get to spend more time with them. But I'm going back there pretty soon. But anyway, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, beautiful faces, handsome and beautiful ladies. I'm looking at the participants. This morning right now is 127. Wow. Isn't that exciting? And I know it's more because this is just logged on in Zoom, but I know I see many of you are in your different offices, houses. Man, this is a very exciting day. So again, I am privileged to start off and kick off our campaign overview this morning. And for those of you, welcome. If this is your first time logging in and first time listening to our campaign, our goal this morning and this afternoon, wherever you are, is to be able to add value, to your knowledge, to add value to your life. And I'm pretty sure that you're going to have a lot of learning and takeaway this morning. I promise you that. So stay tuned, right? Just like in the commercial, stay tuned. Don't touch the dial. But before I get started, I wanted to just share a short video. Okay. Well, there's somebody not muted. Okay. Oh, okay. All right. So let me just share a short video here with you. Okay. Let me just share sound, share screen. Okay, here we go.
One of WFG's strengths is that regardless of who you are, regardless of the background, you come in, you're going to see someone like you winning.
WFG is a blessing for my community. For the average person that looks like me, that talks like me, to become financially independent, to really achieve the true American dream.
We come from all different walks of life, from all states, all provinces of Canada, from all age groups and all different types of educational backgrounds, ethnic backgrounds. We speak so many different types of languages. Basically, financial education attracts everybody.
Well, I believe that by doing a financial education, you bring value to the marketplace. And if I bring value to the marketplace, I don't have to sell to them.
What I love the most about WFG is the approach on how we do it. We go after, in my opinion, the people that really need our help. The mom and dad, the teacher that's making 40, 50, 60,000 a year, that in reality, a big financial institution is not gonna go and talk to her.
We have no requirements for you to come see us. It doesn't matter how many assets you have or how much debt you have. We will sit down with you and go with you step by step to help you reach your best financial foundation.
And the culture of this company make all the difference. They allow us to actually shine.
We're able to have complete control over our business. That is why we have seen so many women join this business. So many families are doing this business together.
So the real ceiling here is the only one you put yourself. If you have the drive and the intention and you do things right, the company is going to support you 100%.
What I see as the potential for WLG is the sky is the limit.
Imagine a North America with 30 million educated families. What would that look like?
And imagine that day where every city, every zip code, every state, every major location, there's a WFG location, an agent. Just the way you see a Starbucks in every corner. When people think financial services, financial education, middle America looking for help, they're gonna be thinking of WFG.
That is our vision for the future, and we know at WFG we can make that happen.
This is a business for yourself, but you're not by yourself.
With the new change in leadership in Transamerica and Aegon, it has been a breath of fresh air.
Me being in this business now 18 years, I've seen a huge impact just in the last 24 months.
They are making a tremendous effort to come meet us and get to know who we are.
It's been a successful story, not just for me, but for many of the people on the team.
This is the exciting time.
The exciting part of building a company like WFG is not just the end result, it's the journey, it's the personal growth.
WFG has taught me to become a better spouse, a better parent, a better daughter, because when you're in this business, it makes you think about everybody.
The secret weapon of WFG is the people that we brought into our business. It's the community, it's the environment to let you see who you are and what you can become.
All right.
Both floors have flopped.
Okay. Hold on.
Maybe it don't fit your lifestyle. Or your life's style. Or what's style?
Okay. Go. All right. Fantastic. Oh my gosh. Every time I listen to that, it just makes me very proud to be a part of our company. But let me just hold on and prepare. Or hold on. Can I? Why am I not? Okay. Okay, Marlo, I'm not be able to share my screen. I don't know why. Okay, hold on. Did I stop? Do you still see my screen, Brian? No.
I do not, Yvette, just you.
All right. Yeah. Hold on.
Once the video went off, it was just you.
Okay. All right. Let me see. Having some technical difficulties. Hold on. Okay. It cannot minimize Zoom when you are recording. I see. Okay. I think I found the problem here. All right. Sorry about that. Okay, here we go. Let me just prepare my slide here. All right, there we go. Now we're on. Okay, let me share my screen again. Thank you for being patient. Okay, fantastic. All right, so again, I hope that you are able to watch our video fully. And again, every time I see that, it makes me so proud of what we do here. And again, my name is Yvette Laquihon. For many of you that doesn't know me, I am in the business already. I'm in the industry and this company for the last 25 years and going into 26. So I know it's more than 2 decades. I know many of you may ask, that I started at 15 years old, but just joking, right? But anyway, again, our company's name is World Financial Group. And we belong to this awesome team in World Financial Group called World System Builder, WSB for short. So you can see this green arrow here. And right now, we are very proud to say that we have an ongoing campaign, which is a national financial literacy campaign, right? And our goal as a group here is to build a new industry. Okay, so here, we have this book. So I don't know if if you don't have a copy of it yet, maybe you can, the people that invited you or, that can give you a copy of it. But I just wanted to go over the introduction of this book. This is a wonderful book called Saving Your Future book. It's a very good read. You're going to learn a lot of different financial concepts in here. And it says here, according to surveys, right, conducted by research firms and government agencies in Canada and America, North Americans are facing serious financial challenges. And I know we have our Canadian brothers here, right? In Canada, it says 1 in 4 Canadians is to borrow to buy food or pay for daily expenses because they ran out of money, right? And 1 in 6 Canadians doesn't make enough to cover their monthly expenses. 70% of Canadians are worried they are not saving enough for retirement, and 32% are not saving for retirement at all, right? And that's Canada. Now, how about the US? And majority of us, we are here, US, it's even gloomier, right? And it says 79% of Americans feel financial stress. More than half live paycheck to paycheck. And 62% of Americans carry credit card debt. 37% have already maxed out their credit card debt. And 27% don't pay their bills on time. Isn't that, a very, very sad story? And we also, we say here, it is ironic that we live in one of the wealthiest countries in the world, right? Supposed to be between US and Canada. But the challenge is, why is that? The question is, why is that many people still have money problems? Isn't it? We can work hard all our lives but retire poor, and we do so much to raise our kids, thus just to see them finish college with a lot of debt. And debt becomes a way of life, right? And I've seen many, many times over, friends, their kids are done for school, and, they're starting life with debt right away because of student loans and stuff like that, right? So again, as we notice and keep noticing, the income gaps, right, between the rich and the poor keeps widening, right? And here, majority of the population majority own a minority of the wealth. And here, majority of us belong to bottom 50%, right? And you know what? Many of us, we aspire, and our goal is to even be at least at the 50 to 90% category, right? And more so 90 to 99 and even to the top 1%. Isn't that true? So, but you know what? That's why our goal is to help people from the bottom 50% to move up to at least the 50 to 90 and up, right? And here, we always think, right? Don't you think sometimes, like, how do these rich people, right, to become rich and the poor becomes even poorer? Isn't that true? So again, even in the survey, can you be a part of this group? How many of us, right, we want to be a part of this millionaire group, right? So that's why we're here in this business, right? We want to reach the millionaire group. And even just in the US alone, imagine this, right? Only 39.1% share of global millionaires, and then 8.8% just in the US. Very few are there in the top. So we need to be there, right? We need to copy what the rich do, and so we can get there. And so here we say the millionaire next door. Many of them are not celebrities or fancy people or receive inheritance, but we know many millionaire next door, right? They achieve that category and success in life, and they are just normal average people, but they just happen to build their financial future with knowledge, planning, and consistent practices over a long period of time, right? And because we know that getting rich, there's no such thing as a get rich quick scheme, right? Getting rich is a process. Getting rich is planning, right? And now we ask, what do these rich people know that the poor doesn't know? Isn't that you ask that question for yourself sometimes? And here we are, they did a survey. Why are the poor getting poorer? And you know what? They come up with an answer, because it's simply bad habits and poor decisions keep adding up, right? What are these bad habits and poor decisions? One, they don't budget, right? And many of us are very guilty about that. We don't, we just receive our paycheck, wait for the next 2 weeks again, get a paycheck, spend money, right? And, we don't have any financial goals for retirement, college education, healthcare. And you know what? Many people, like the middle class, we have expensive taste, right? It's called keeping up with the Joneses. And one of my friends correct me and said, hey, that's old. Keeping up with the Joneses is old already. Nowadays, it's called keeping up with the Kardashians, right? It's some other word, right? So, because, we see in the social media. That's why, sometimes the social media can make a negative effect, because here we are, we see our friends, they have a new car, right? I want to buy a new car too, new purse, new shoes, nice vacation, all of these things. And then we want to keep up with the Joneses or the Kardashians. We have a FOMO, fear of missing out, and now we end up living with credit card debts, right? Liabilities, and we find out that a large portion of our income just goes to pay that interest. Isn't it a sad truth, right? And you know what? Many of us, we don't even prepare for emergency. And then we work for a living rather than start thinking about putting up a business, right? And we don't have good knowledge and are often, not interested in financial matters. That's why I want to give a hand to you guys that are here, because it just tells me that you are interested in finding out how you can change your future, right? And so again, it's time for a change. Right? It is time for a change. We we in this group here, we believe in financial education heavily, right? Because you have to understand that the future is not in the hands of your employer, right? It's not in your union or your government. No matter which president sit in the office, it's not in their hands, right? It's neither in the hands of your banker nor your broker. And guess whose hands it is? Your hands, right? The future is in your hands. The future to make money is in your hands. You know, the saving money is in your hands. Accumulating money is in your hands. And most importantly, protecting your hard-earned money is in your hands. You agree with that? I'm sure you agree with that, right? And so again, for us here, we believe that it's very important to be educated and be your own money manager, right? And here it says, knowing less can cost more. You know what? That's the, you know, the saying before, like, what you don't know won't hurt you. Have you heard that line before? And you know what? That it's not true in the financial service. That's not true in the financial industry, because what you don't know about money will definitely hurt you, right? Will hurt you in the future. So you need to understand how money works, because here we are just brought up to learn how to work for money. Make sense, right? So again, our goal here is to help you build a strong financial foundation, because believe me that you cannot build wealth until you build a financial foundation. So we have a blueprint for you, right? We need to start with proper protection. We will talk more about that in the next few slides. We need to prepare and manage our debt, eliminate debt, and then create emergency fund. And then, of course, learn where and how to save and invest, right? And this is like building a house, right? We got to build it from the ground up, right? In any kind of structure, it's usually the laying the foundation to the ground up. Because have you ever seen a building that started to be built from up to down, right? I haven't seen any. So just like in our financial, foundation, it has to be from the ground up. So again, our goal is to help families move from being financially insecure to be financially secured. And ultimately, every one of us to reach financial independence. Isn't that a wonderful goal, right? To be financially independent, right? And again, let's talk about how we're going to do that, right? Building from insecurity to independence. So first, we need to plan for protection, right? And not only protection, but proper protection. Protection for what, right? Protection of, of protecting your income, right? Your health and your asset, right? So what do we mean by that? Because if you think about it, you are the ones bringing income in the household, most especially, right? If you're the breadwinner, you are the most important asset to your family. Is that correct? Right? So now we need to protect the most important asset, which is you, right? Through life insurance, right? Different kinds of life insurance. So in case something happens suddenly, right? Then your family wouldn't be, you wouldn't be able to leave a burden behind, right? Because again, I also tell my family, hey, you know what? I don't want you to fund, do a GoFundMe when I pass, right? I don't want you to do GoFundMe, because I can GoFund you, when I pass away, right? So, and also your health, right? Nowadays, many people are not protected just in case they got critically ill, like cancer, stroke, kidney failure, or being in a long-term care situation, right? Where you cannot perform 2 out of the 6 activities of daily living, right? Like eating, toileting, bathing, and all of these things. We think Medicare will pay for it, but you know what? You're wrong, right? It's not true. Medicare don't pay for this stuff. So we need to plan ahead of time. And of course, protecting our asset. Like, do you have like estate planning, right? Living will, trust. Because guess what? If something happens to you and you don't have anything in writing, the government will have a plan for you, and I am sure that you won't like it, right? So those are the things that we mean by proper protection. Second is taking care of your debt, right? I always say, if you cannot control your spending and you have these plastics in your wallet, do a plastic surgery, right? And cut them, because it's not gonna do you any good, right? I see Geraldine laughing here, but here we are. We have a workshop, right? We even teach workshops for people, and you know what? You can attend this. It's a complimentary workshop. You don't have to pay for anything. And this is showing you how to get rid of your debt, right? And this, for example, we say that, you know what, if you just simply add $100 to the minimum payment, and in this example, credit card debt, minimum payment, $10, add $100 to that minimum payment, right? And then that will be $110, right? So if you do that, your previous instead of your previous number of months to pay it will be 19 months. Now it will be cut down to 2 months. How about that? Isn't that cool, right? I mean, just a simple $100 addition to your minimum will work miracles for you, right? And then you move on to the second. You start with the least and going on with the most highest one, and then you just keep adding. Once you pay it off, you add the total payment of that in your new monthly. For example, here now from 160 to your new monthly will be 280, right? Because you got rid of all the other debts. Guess what? Now from 72 months to 50 months and on and on and on. You follow this? So imagine what we're saying here. What $100 can do? What $100 can dramatically do to save your debt, right? And let me just do that. Go back to that. Sorry, right here. Okay, right? Look at what $100 that can dramatically save you time and reduce your debt, right? Rather than spending 30 years, right? Waiting for 30 years to wipe up your debt, it will just be cut down to 17.5 years. Isn't that amazing? So I invite you to our debt roll-up workshop, all right? So again, next is emergency fund. We say that we should have at least 3 months worth of our income to 6 months worth of our income saved for emergency, just because a lot of these things can happen. One is, what if we get laid off? We know nowadays that there's no such thing as job security anymore. So anything can happen anytime. What if something in your house broke, right? I know one of my teammates, while we were in a convention, his wife was calling, oh my God, our air condition got shot. Now, it's a problem. Got it? So if you don't have emergency fund, then how are you going to pay for these things? What if your car, broke? Right? Alternator, starter, flat tires, which happened to me weeks ago, right? All of these things, right? Now, we heard that, we are, most families are one paycheck away from bankruptcies, if you don't have emergency fund, right? And then, of course, very, very important, where can we save and invest money, right? And here, the next slide here is saying, assuming that you are making $60,000 a year. And what if you just set aside 10% of that, which is like $500 a month or $17 a day, right? Can we spend $17 a day? Absolutely. Sometimes nowadays, even if you go drive-through to McDonald's, right? So McDonald's is not cheap anymore, you guys, right? It could be, one meal can cost you $15 or depending on how many of you, right? But what if, right, you plan for that and you save that money, right? And in 30 years, at age 60, right, especially if you invest it, and let's say it will give you an 8% interest, at age 60, that money will accumulate to $745,000 plus, right? So you just leave it there, and that's why it's called the wealth formula. You have this money, you put it in a place where it's gonna grow, you leave it there, so time, and it's going to grow to 745. What if it's a 10%, right? What if the same amount of money that you're saving, $500 a month or $17 a day, at 10%, that can grow up to $1.3 million, right? So it's so amazing when we understand how we can compound our money, right? Now, again, what if now you got that 60, right? And assuming that you stop contributing and you just let that nest egg continue to grow and accumulate, right? So remember, at 8%, your money can double in 9 years. Now, how do we know that? Because we have this awesome formula, right? How we know how many years will our money double. It's called the rule of 72, right? The rule of 72 with the first time I heard it, I thought it was the eighth wonder of the world, right? Because all you need to do is, take number 72. That's why it's called rule of 72. Your constant is 72 and divide it to any given interest rate where you keep your money. So in this example, it's 8. So 72 divided by 8 is 9. So that means your money is growing every 9 years at 8%. You follow so far? So the previous example, 745, after 9 years, it doubles. Now it will be 1.5 million at 69. You follow so far? Now, what if it's a 10%? Again, 72 divided by 10. Now it's 7.2 years. So at 10%, right, your money will double every 7.2 years. So your previous example, $1.1 million, now doubles, become $2.3 million. Right. Now, I know, calculate it in your mind. I have a quiz for you, right? But because of the sake of time, I won't call anybody. But imagine, right? Many people, where do we put our money? We put our money in the bank, right? And your bank, have you checked lately how much interest that your bank give you on your checking or savings account? You know that it's not much and it's less than 1%. Is that correct, right? You can nod your head like that, right? But now, let's say your bank gives you, they're very, generous, and they give you 1%. If you apply the rule of 72, well, how many years will your money double at 1%? Again, what you need to do is 72 divided by 1. So that is 72. That means it will take you 72 years for your money to double. Now, what if you don't have $1 million? Right? Or what if you don't have even $500,000? What if you only have 1,000? You mean it will take you 72 years for your 1,000 to become 2,000? Oh my gosh, right? So I hope you learned something there. Now also, very important things that we need to remember is we need to factor taxes when in our future planning, right? In fact, taxes and inflation is a very big factor, right? So we have different categories, or we have different vehicles, we call it, where we put our money. One is called tax now, right? Tax now, that means when you put your money there, it's growing, and then your interest, when you take it out, your money is taxed every year. And what are examples of tax now vehicle, right? Checking account, CDs, stocks, money market, mutual funds, bonds, just to name a few, right? So those are the tax now vehicle. Right? Second is called tax later or tax deferred, right? That means that if you're keeping your money in a tax later or tax deferred account, that means that you're not taxed, right? Your money is not taxed while it's growing, right? While you're saving, right? And a very good example of that are your 401ks, your annuities, your traditional IRAs, or most of the qualified plans, right? So, you're not taxed. That's why it's deferred, right? But when you take it out, see this, like the first is lightly shaded because you're not taxed, and then at the end is called purple, right? Dark shaded. That means that when you take the money out, that's the time they tax you, right? That's why Uncle Sam said, it's okay, Brian, you can grow our money, and then when you need to take it out, you say, wait a minute, remember, Brian, I didn't tax you, right? But now I need to take my share. Right? And so many people don't understand that. They thought that they can get away with Uncle Sam, right? And that's why I always, when I do a presentation, I said, you know what? You don't know the meaning of IRS, right? IRS, I'm really sorry. That's what Uncle Sam will tell you in the end, right? So, and then of course, tax advantage, right? What is tax advantage, right? This is, I love it because, when you contribute in there, you already, again, we cannot escape Uncle Sam, but now you want to pay tax on the seed right here, right, rather than the tree, right? Because yes, your contribution to this tax advantage vehicle is already taxed, but when it's growing and when you take it out, guess what? You don't have to worry about Uncle Sam. You don't have to worry about taxes, no penalty, right? What are the examples of a tax advantage vehicle? We have Roth IRA, right, health savings account, and most cash value life insurance, right? So again, you have to look into what you have. So you know what? You don't have to put your eggs in one basket, right? So you have to understand all of these things, right? And of course, we also help people. If you have, high school kids, we also help them with planning college. Because guess what? Knowing what to do after high school is more than just paying for higher education. And you know what? Many of us, we know, like for me, myself, I didn't graduate here in this country. But when I found out about all of these things, tuition and funding, admission application, all of these things that you read here, man, I was like blown away. Like, really? Right? We can get this much money for financial aid and grants and stuff like that. Many people don't know that. That's why their kids ended up having a high student loan and getting, starting their life with already big debt, right? And also, we also teach here, like I myself is one of the registered Social Security analysts, and here, many people don't understand the retirement benefit. We even have a separate, presentation or webinar, just this topic alone, right? Because many people don't understand how to optimize and maximize your Social Security income, when you should claim for Social Security, the importance of Medicare or medical expense when you need it, right? Taxes on your retirement. This is a lot. And that's why if you don't know, you're leaving a lot of money in the table, right? That's why you need to know about all these things. And again, we have a lot of, people that have, taken advantage of our financial education here. Many people's here, excited to share because like, Jesus said, this is the best thing I could share to someone. And that's why we're holding this, super event this morning, because we are loving it to share with all of you, right? And here we are very thankful, that, many of our leadership, they stretch our vision. And most importantly, Mr. Sikander Lodi here, because of the workshop, he said that the education and support truly changed his life and his family's life because of a workshop and all of these things, right? So many of you, many of us here, we have our own testimonial of how this campaign changed our life, right? But again, we want to invite every one of you, right? Be a part of our campaign for financial literacy, because there is a great need out there. We have a goal of educating 30 million families by the year 2030. And that's why we love it. We talk to people every day. We invite you to workshops that's happening Monday to Friday, 2 or 3 times a day. We even give you a workbook so you can write down, just be a student again. And we even give you, again, this wonderful book called Saving Your Future book. All right. So I hope that, you were able to learn and get something from what I shared this morning. And you know what? This concludes my part, but I am so proud to introduce the next presenter.